Did the football gods just hand Chicago the golden ticket to the #1 seed? The 49ers are battered, exhausted, and limping home after a brutal Monday Night Football war, and their biggest weapon, George Kittle, might not make it to the starting line on Sunday. If you aren't paying attention to this injury report, you are missing the biggest storyline of the entire NFL season. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have a massive week ahead of us. We are talking Sunday Night Football, Bears vs. Niners, a potential NFC Championship preview, and let me tell you, the landscape of this game shifted dramatically while most of you were sleeping last night. We need to break down exactly what happened in Indianapolis, how it impacts the Bears, and why this schedule quirk might be the ultimate equalizer we have been waiting for. But before we dive into the chaos, do me a huge favor. If you want daily updates, deep dives, and the realest football talk on YouTube, smash that like button and hit subscribe right now. Join the community. We are building something special here, and I want you in on the ground floor. Let's get to it. Let's start with the headline that has every Bears fan glued to their social media feeds this morning: George Kittle is hurt. If you watched the game last night against the Colts, you saw a masterclass. Kittle was absolutely tearing it up. 7 catches, over 100 yards, a touchdown. He was completely unguardable. But in the second quarter, disaster struck. He got rolled up on a tackle, and while he tried to tough it out and come back in the third quarter, he eventually had to leave the game and did not return. Now, Kittle spoke to the media after the game, and his description of the injury was, honestly, a little unsettling. He called it a hip drop tackle sensation, saying his ankle got stuck in the turf. He specifically said, and I quote, "If I can't run very fast or plant, I think it's a better option for the other tight ends to go make plays." That is not the sound of a guy who is 100% ready to roll. The good news for San Francisco is that Kittle believes he avoided the dreaded high ankle sprain, which would have been a season ender. He knows his body better than anyone, and he's played through a lot of pain in his career. But even a low ankle sprain on a short week? That is a massive problem. Think about it, Kittle is the engine of that offense. He's not just a receiver. He's the best blocking tight end in the universe. If he's out, or even if he's just out there as a decoy limping around at 80%, the entire complexion of the 49ers offense changes. The Bears linebackers don't have to respect the middle of the field the same way. The pass rush gets that extra split second because the blocking isn't quite as crisp on the edge. It's a domino effect. Here's the question you have to ask yourself: can the 49ers system function at an elite level against this Chicago defense without its most unique chess piece? We might find out on Sunday. But the injury to Kittle is only half the story. The other half is the schedule, and honestly, the Bears caught a massive break here. This is the type of advantage you usually only see once or twice a decade. Chicago played on Saturday. They'd been resting, recovering, and watching film for days. They are fresh. Meanwhile, the 49ers played a grueling Monday Night Football game in Indianapolis. That's not a short flight, folks. They didn't get back to the Bay Area until the wee hours of Tuesday morning, probably 4 o'clock or 5 a.m. So, do the math. Tuesday is a complete wash for them. The players are basically zombies today. They lose a critical day of prep. They are physically drained. And now they have to turn around and prepare for one of the hottest teams in the NFC on a short week? The Bears will have fresh legs. The 49ers will be fighting jet lag and bruising from a physical game against the Colts. In a matchup where the talent level is this high, that rest advantage is the great equalizer. I don't care how good your roster is. Playing on 6 days rest after a cross-country flight in the middle of the night is brutal on the human body. And consider the rehab aspect. If Kittle is trying to get that ankle right, he loses a crucial day of treatment because of the travel. Every hour counts when you are trying to reduce swelling, and spending hours on a pressurized plane is the last thing an injured ankle needs. Now, let's play devil's advocate. If Kittle can't go, who steps up? This is where it gets spicy for Bears fans, and brings up a name from the past. Enter Jake Tonjes. Does that name ring a bell? It should. He was an undrafted free agent for the Bears back in 2022. We used him as that fullback tight end hybrid for a bit before moving on. Well, he's found a home in San Francisco, and quietly, he has been excellent. Tonjes is effectively their T2 right now. He's got nearly 30 catches, over 200 yards, and 4 touchdowns this season. He actually had a spectacular toe-tap catch last night that was ruled incomplete, and for some reason, Kyle Shanahan didn't challenge it. But trust me, the kid has hands. He's athletic, and he's making plays when his number is called. If Kittle sits, Tonjes is going to see a massive workload. It's the classic revenge game narrative. You know he wants to show the Bears they made a mistake letting him go. He's not Kittle, nobody is, but he knows the system, and he's dangerous. The Bears' defense cannot sleep on him just because the superstar is on the sideline. We saw him, Moss, Tariq Woolen earlier this year for a game winner. The guy can play. This brings us to the biggest debate of the week, and I really want to gauge the pulse of the fanbase on this one. I want to hear from you guys in the comments section. Do you think George Kittle plays on Sunday Night Football? Type Y for yes or N for no below. Part of me thinks he's going to try. He grew up a Bears fan. He hates the Packers. He loves big moments. The competitor in him will want to be out there against his childhood team. But can he be effective on a bad ankle with 0 practice time? Let me know what you think. Is he suiting up, or is he in street clothes? Sound off below. Why does all of this matter? Because we aren't just talking about a regular season win here. We are talking about the path to the Super Bowl. Both of these teams are in the dance. Playoff berths are clinched. But nobody wants to play on the road in January. The 49ers control their own destiny. If they win out, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Santa Clara. They get the bye week. They get the rest. They get the easy path. But if the Bears win? Absolute chaos. If Chicago wins out and Seattle slips up just once, the Bears steal the number 1 seed. Imagine that. Soldier Field. January. The number 1 seed. It is right there for the taking. That's why this game is so heavy. Neither team is going to rest their starters. Neither team is taking the foot off the gas. This is a playoff game before the playoffs. If the 49ers lose, they likely lose the top seed. If the Bears lose, they are locked into a road path. The stakes could not be higher. Before we wrap up, we have to talk about the Pro Bowl roster drop that just happened. First off, a huge shout out to the Bears selections: Drew Dalman at center, Joe Thuney at guard, and Kevin Byard at safety. These 3 guys were absolute locks. Dalman has been a wall in the middle. Thuney is a machine. He is as good as it gets at guard. And Kevin Byard leading the league in interceptions? You can't deny that. It's great to see the league recognizing the trenches and the ball hawks in Chicago. If any of those 3 missed out, it would have been a joke. However, we need to talk about the robbery that occurred at the cornerback position. How in the world does Nahshon Wright not get a Pro Bowl nod? Are you kidding me? The man has been a turnover factory. We are talking 5 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. He is involved in a turnover almost every single week. That is 10 turnover plays. When you are impacting the game that much, you deserve the nod. I know the cornerback position is crowded in the NFC with guys like Surtain and Diggs, but when you fill up the stat sheet like Wright has, you deserve the recognition. It is a snub, plain and simple. And let's not forget Jonah Jackson, who also had a fantastic case. But you know what? Let them use it as fuel. Let Nahshon Wright take that anger out on the 49ers this Sunday. I'd rather have a motivated, angry corner than a happy Pro Bowler any day of the week. We also saw Josh Blackwell and Daniel Hardy get overlooked on special teams, despite making game-changing plays all year. It's tough because only one guy gets in per conference, but those guys deserve a tip of the cap from us fans. So, here is where we stand. The 49ers are banged up. Kittle is questionable. The Bears are rested and hungry. The number 1 seed is dangling right in front of us. We are going to be monitoring the practice reports all week. Will Kittle practice? Will the Bears capitalize on the rest advantage? This is going to be a chess match of the highest order. Make sure you are subscribed because we will have updates the second any news breaks. Sunday Night Football. Bears. Niners. It doesn't get better than this. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Let me know your score predictions in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bear down.